What is up, folks? NYKF31 here, bringing you. Well, I'm going to be talking about Madden 17, but I am playing Madden 16 Ultimate Team Salary Cap Ranked here. Budget Run and Shoot Receiving Squad. I'll go into that in another video. Pretty fun group. But, here's my team. I'll be showing you the game, the first game that I played with them, as the backdrop to this. But we'll want to be talking about Madden 17, and specifically after a full week of developer blogs, go into a little bit of what we've learned so far. What I'm not going to be doing is going over 10-second video clips. If you're doing that, analyzing and dissecting gameplay, 10 seconds of gameplay footage, you are a stark raving lunatic. You need to be medicated and fitted with a straitjacket. You're a complete idiot if you're doing that. Grown men spending all day on Twitter purse slapping over a 12-second video clip. This community is a piece of garbage. But anyhow, until we get more extended gameplay footage, the blogs are going to be getting the bulk of my attention, and when I read them, the thing that I say to myself or think to myself is that they are speaking my language. They are talking meat and potato football in these blogs. As I've been calling them on Twitter, I've been calling them sim porn. For someone who's a sim gamer and someone who is into deep X's and O's football, it's been music to my ears. I really haven't had this type of development team before, at least that I'm not aware of, that has been, delving that deep into those aspects of the sport. Almost to the point where I was thinking that they might be overwhelming people, or they might overwhelm people, similar to when NBA 2K16 first came out before it was neutered with a million patches, how that game overwhelmed the folks out of the box as they were getting their heads handed to them because they couldn't get away with the bad habits that they developed with 2K's past. I have a feeling that this is going to happen with Madden as well, this Madden. And the one thing that I do have a reservation about, I don't have too many concerns about what they're bringing working based off what we've seen the past couple of years. My concern is with the community itself and them not being able to handle what's being brought to the table, and it gets watered down, from what we get from release day, like NBA 2K16 did. What has stuck out to me, so far, things that I'm most excited about are the gap play along the front seven, the alignment along the front seven, and how they've overhauled that and getting us closer to what we see front seven play be like on a down in, down out basis in the NFL, as opposed to guys just kind of buzzing around when they play the run and taking haphazard pursuit angles, actual gap assignments up front, both on the D line as well as the linebackers and the secondary players. Safeties playing force, alley, cutback, corners playing force, and when they're in those type of calls that require it of them. Same with the linebackers and the defensive line. We've never had a football game have all of that in tandem. Yes, not even the NFL and APF 2K games. Those games had the designated gap stunts, but we never had front seven and the secondary run lane assignments and gap assignments all working together before in any games. That's very exciting to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. And it's something that's really desperately needed. The only thing I want to see more of on that regard is how it's going to impact the pass rush, and also how they handle pass blocking. As we know, getting pressure off a base pass rush in this game is extremely erratic. The funny thing is that the only mode where I can actually get a consistent, serious base pass rush is MUT salary cap ranked. The reason being is that everyone tanks their offensive line and load up on receivers to secondary people, and I still like to have quality pass rushers in there. for when I do get pressure, they can make things happen. And since I started playing this mode, I've been getting hellacious pass rush by my front four because the rating disparity is so wide. I kind of have to, but unfortunately, that's not the norm. We need something close to realistic pass rush offensive lineman matchups being respected. It has to be much better than it is now. And when we combine that with the enhancements to the zone coverage, now we're really cooking as far as having a lot of flexibility to implement the schemes that we want to implement, as opposed to having to bastardize them so much in order to hold things together. My Tampa 2 this year is a Tampa 4. I have to make a million adjustments in order to keep the seams as least vulnerable as possible. Same thing if I try to play a single high cover 3 type of scheme. People feel like all that they can call in pass situations is either two men under or cover 4, and they feel that way for good reason. You can still mix in your cover 3 clouds, your cover 6s, your cover 2s and whatnot, and cover 3s, but it really requires intensive user skill, as well as making a lot of adjustments to hold it all together against the stuff people like to do online. Everyone should feel like they have a chance at seeing their scheme work based on a combination of user execution, user skill. Some people are just going to be more talented than others, never going to be able to change that, and proper use of their personnel and play calling. That should be what decides the day. Ratings match up, personnel use, and user knowledge and user skill, as opposed to trying to hold together vertical seams all day and praying that your pass rush can get there so you're not covering out there as a user for 10 seconds. That's not good. But I love what I'm reading as far as what we're getting with the gap play and the pattern matching zone coverage and zone coverage techniques. It's directly out of stuff you've heard me say in videos for the longest, and also on Twitter, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that in motion. I want to hear some talk about man coverage as well. Let's get rid of these unbumpable route releases by outside receivers and make also off-man coverage a viable call. Still, the only real useful man coverage is press man coverage. I'd love to see more diverse man coverage techniques, press bail man, a catch technique off coverage, as well as coverage leveraging both out of man and out of zone. Those cover 3 corners in cover 3 press, bailing out and leveraging the sideline to cut off an outside release. I want to see these guys contesting route releases and putting pressure on the user to make a decisive throwing decision before those windows close and before that rush gets to them. Truthfully, I want the game to overwhelm people. I want people to realize that they've been spoiled for a very long time. I want bad habits to have to be broken, and broken in a hurry. As far as the stuff I've read about the running, it just sounds like a change in control mechanic more than anything else. I don't really have much to say about that. That doesn't really push my buttons much. I do like what they're saying about the ball physics. I like the passing mechanics that have been added to the game. One thing I'd like to see return is receiver-specific pump faking, as opposed to a global pump fake and then having to watch to see who's been affected by it. By observation, when I do a pump fake, it seems to pump fake to the primary receiver side. And occasionally I've caught guys biting, and I've been able to hit plays, but I really miss the ability to pump to a designated receiver. I hope we get that back. And, combined with the better ball physics and the passing mechanics that we have as far as the low pass, high pass, touch passes, and the leading that we already have in the game, I think that can make for a more dynamic experience. So, overall, based on what we've learned, I think that we're in for a pretty exciting time. It's just a matter of seeing it all in motion. this joke and fraud of a community, this so-called sim community, is always saying, "Make it sim and they will come." Well, that day has come, folks. That day has been coming since Rex and Clint, Anthony White, all those guys have come on board. The engine has been a chugging if you've been paying attention and listening and reading and keeping up with what's been going on and paying attention to what's going on in the game. If you want to be obsessed with pessimism for whatever your reasons are and bitch and moan and cry all day on Twitter, go right ahead. We'll just all laugh at you and enjoy ourselves. People just don't care about that stuff anymore. People have either gone about their business and have been doing their own thing, and if they decide to come back to Madden, they will. If they decide not to, they'll go about doing what they do. No one gives a single damn about this sim activism and these pipe dreams of other games springing out of the ground. That's just the way it is. That's just the cold, hard reality. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that, as you guys can watch the rest of this game play out. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Take advantage of that. He tries for the big play. What happens? He gets tackled for a loss.
Murray's out there to receive the screen pass. Fires there that time for the tackle.
The Jets really got it going now. They got confidence. They got momentum. They got a small lead here in the second half. And that first down, what does it do? It just gives the offensive coordinator confidence. And, of course, this quarterback, he is always ready to go.
We've hit the 2-minute warning in the second half. First and goal from the 9. Jets are in the end zone. Murray's second touchdown to kick it away. No one's going to get him now. The 20, the 10, and he's in for the touchdown. Here we go. The Jets take it from the 23. He'll throw it over the middle. Julian Edelman has the catch.
That was a good call by the offense.
There we go now. Green, 90. The Jets have it at the 44. He takes it on the counter.
Right call here by the coach in this situation. Keep
and need to get to the 46 for a first. Screen pass to Edelman. Brought down at the 38. That's his 6th catch of the day.
Jim, years ago, you
deserved the victory.